Hey everyone, welcome to episode 99 of Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast, another in the occasional series we call Listen Locally, even though locally today is South Dakota.
But let me add, he was local, living in Alva for some time. So, I mean, he's got ties.
Okay. We have as our guest Kenny Feidler, a full-time gigging musician based outside Rapid City, South Dakota. But before we get to the convo with Kenny, I just wanted to point out that my co-host, Mikkel Moray Robinson, a.k.a. Mikey-on-the-Mic, just slunk back from Varna, Bulgaria, with nothing but jet lag and cabbage-induced PTSD.
Exactly.
Her brilliant scheme to conquer Bulgaria's Got Talent, a folk music rendition of Pink Pony Club that she Google translated on the plane while simultaneously painting her toenails and chugging mini vodkas.
The chugging mini vodkas is absolutely correct.
Turns out I Want to Dance on the Speakers All Night somehow morphed into a translation into Your Granny's Underpants Have More Holes Than Bulgarian Cheese. Grab some spackle. Obviously, the Google missed the nuances of the translation.
For real, Google failed me. Damn
the audience began pelting her with so many cabbages that she could have opened a coleslaw.
And I love cabbage. It's like my favorite.
But did our tone-deaf heroine apologize?
No.
She flipped double birds at the horrified Bulgarians, screeching,
Just like that.
"You're lost, peasant. Taylor Swift will hear about this," before storming off stage.
And then tripping. That's what I would do.
Over a wheelbarrow of turnips that were part of the stage act of Theodore the Turnip Twaddler. Greetings, lovely listeners. It is I, your beloved, and never before been mistaken for a turnip twaddler, although people will always tell me I should try out for America's Got Talent and do something.
Instead of tiptoeing through the tulips, he's twaddling through the turnips. But I'm turnips
in the moonlight. Okay. What is
Don't
what?
Stop. That was so
Anyone's
good.
guess, but there you have it. I'm your host, Mr. Robin, coming to you digitally from the technologically advanced Studio C, located ahead of Cabbage's Throw from hole number 2 of the Woodward Municipal Golf Course in Woodward, Oklahoma. Say hello to our cabbage-tossing listeners. Mikey?
Hello. You can toss your cabbage this way. Yes.
As I previously mentioned today on episode 99 of Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast.
Closer to our 100th.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We're continuing our occasional series, Listen Locally, in which we explore the importance of access to local live music for rural audiences. And our guest for this installment of the series is none other than Rapid City, South Dakota singer-songwriter Kenny Feidler. Kenny, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Oh, it's great. Great to have you.
Yeah,
the thing
first
that
Zoom call too, on the
Right,
pod.
yeah, this is new. You leveled us up too. This is great.
the thing that really jumped out at me about you, and it just kind of blew my mind, was that you were born and raised in Baltimore.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And somehow you wound up at South freaking Dakota.
Yeah. Well,
how did that happen?
So I got into rodeo on the East Coast. I just wanted to be a cowboy when I was a kid, and I always kind of felt like we lived like pretty close to Baltimore, suburb area, and it's really weird how I ended up like wanting to go that way, but just really wanted to move out west, and so I got into rodeo, and was kind of this was like pre social media days, really. So like when I went to looking for a college to go to, I was kind of just looking for a 4-year school with uh you know a rodeo team for college rodeo, and it was between I was looking between Oklahoma and Wyoming, and ended up at Alva, and that's how Cal and I became friends. So
Yeah, that's how
yeah,
we
so
met at the Ruffy house, which is a house that that's what we called it. Your house had a name.
yeah, yeah, wilder days, but wrote a lot of songs down there and in Alva, but yeah, that's how I ended up out there, and my wife's from South Dakota, so
Okay.
and she went to school in Alva as well.
Yeah,
And
so you had family ties up there.
yep, and we've been here for quite a while. We lived in Phillips, South Dakota for a number of years, um, on her family's place, and then shoot, it's gotta be. I think I stayed in Alva until 2012, and then after that, we've pretty much been in South Dakota the rest of the time.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
similar to my timeline-ish, although I moved in 2011. So I graduated in December of 11 and moved to Woodward. I didn't go as far as you did, but
Big jump.
yeah, but I did move over to Woodward, and then I met my husband, and then we just stayed. Kinda
Yeah.
like it. I like it
Yeah.
here. So anyway.
Yeah. No, that's what we just saw each other played in
Yep.
Alva a couple weeks ago.
Right.
After they had a bull riding going on, and we got booked to play there at the Nightlight, which is wild that that's a
I know it's like a full
concert
circle, isn't it?
concert venue now. Big time.
Yeah. Because when we were going to school there, it was just a nightclub, you know? It
Yeah.
was they just had a DJ, and they played ass bumping music is what I would call it. And then I don't know, it shortly closed after, we were there, I think, and has been closed up until just like, what was it, 2 years ago maybe? A
Yeah.
young man reopened it, and he reopened it with it still has the bar, but as a venue for local
Yeah,
music.
it's
He's
really
also
nice.
renting it out.
Yeah. I was really impressed, like, everything about it was really nice, and, yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was. And I saw that he was coming, to play there, and I was like, "Well, shit, we gotta go to that." And then it turned out that I entered the Northwestern's art show as an alumni, and the winners reception was that same night. So it was like, gotta kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I didn't realize I was gonna get to
I'm
do.
glad you made it over. It was a nice surprise. It's good to
Yeah,
see
it was.
you
It's been
guys.
a long time
Yeah.
to see it, so.
So, at what point in your life did you decide that you wanted to pursue music as a career?
Yeah, I'd say probably or it was around 2020, I went full time.
Okay.
I was very fortunate. So I started you know, writing songs and playing music there in Alva, and I did that for a lot of years, and it was just a hobby thing, really. Kind of just did it for myself, and we were at the like juncture of uh CDs and LimeWire and all the digital Spotify and all that stuff happening is kind of when I started putting music out. So I got the tail end of, I was doing like hand to hand people buying CDs from me and sending $5 or $10 in the mail for a CD and spreading around like very organic, original way. Without never having, I never had a band, and I wasn't even pursuing it really. It was just the songs. And they were very poorly recorded songs and stuff I just did at my house, and I had no intention of, you know, doing it being anything more than that. So these are just like some of those old recordings. They're up now, and they're like by far the most popular thing I've done. They're just homemade recordings with no recording experience, learning to play the guitar, learning how to sing, learning how to, and so that was kind of like the foundation for me, getting into music, but it kind of laid some really good groundwork to where I built, was able to kind of have an audience kind of lying in wait really for when I actually started getting after it. Because there was these little pockets around the country, and then and then in 2020 or 20 end of 2019, I was working for my brother-in-law, cleaning feedlots, um, and it was just getting to a point where so we Blaine and I had our we're starting to have kids, and so we had infants, and I was working like a lot of hours, and it just didn't really feel very. And I was really broke, and didn't feel very sustainable. 'Cause I wanted to make sure that I was like not just somebody just making money for my family. I wanted to be
Yeah,
home
be
with
a
my
part of it.
kids,
Yeah.
yeah, and be a dad, and it was just feeling like wake up at 4 in the morning and then get home at like 9, and I was working an hour away from where our house is, and it's like put the kids to sleep, and it's not
Yeah.
much of a life, and I'm thankful for it because it like got us through, and that was like the transition of Blaine. Blaine started staying at home. She was an X-ray tech, and I kind of just went to work, and it got us through, but, I just felt like I wanted something more, and she's the one that really pushed me to start playing music full time, and I had like a band, her cousin and I, had were like casually playing music here and started figuring out how to play in a band, and it was very much a local, playing locally, like fairs and rodeos, and so I didn't just dive in and say, "I wanna start having a band now."
Right.
I was kinda dabbling with it on the side while I was working too, but it just kinda got to a point where I thought that worst case scenario, I have to take a bunch of shows, I'll make up for, whatever the trade-off for having this full-time income, which it wasn't really making any money. I think my take home pay for the month after health insurance was like $1,500,
Mhm.
and looking back, I'm like, man, I don't even really know how like $1,500 doesn't really go that far now.
No.
Um, but so I just kind of called it. It was that December, 2019. I was like, I'm just gonna go full time and really pursue it, and then uh, and then I just had to start gaining faith in venues to have us play, and then over the years you grow and you know get the live show figured out, and there's a lot of stuff in that. But yeah, that was when I made the choice to go full time, and then it's been kind of gave it everything. Besides my family, like that's like I don't really have any hobbies anymore. I used to have a lot of hobbies and doing all this stuff,
Well,
and
now you're doing your favorite hobby, and now it's a
yeah,
job,
yeah,
so
I'm very thankful because
you're not trying to escape from things to
no, no,
you know what I mean? I get
and
that.
it's I give it everything um next to my family, and I've just always kept that in mind that um it's always because like music business I'm not like in it to like I'm not looking to get famous. Like I don't have like it feels great to have people like your music, but I'm not searching any kind of celebrity thing here.
Mhm.
And neither are my guys, my band. And we treat it very much like a working class band, and and try to it is a job. It's an awesome job, but
Mhm.
we just treat it that way. And I just was never gonna let it. It's one of those things that the more you give and the more it grows, the more it can kind of try to take from you
Yeah.
as far as your time and
Sure.
priorities. And
Right.
just like anything, any career, I guess.
Mhm.
So I've always kind of kept that um in check to make sure like I'm not not trading anything with my family for that. And at this point, I mean, here we are, 6 years later. Very happy. My Blaine stays home with the boys, and we homeschool. So when I'm off the road, like we're together every day. So I'm very fortunate. I get way more time with my family than a lot of dads get to.
Yeah.
For being pretty much. And we tour differently than a lot of bands. Like I go out every weekend and come home. I don't go out on, month-long stretch.
Right. Right.
And I just make the best of it, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I read in an article that, if it's possible and it's a family friendly, that sometimes Blaine and your boys go with you.
Yeah. They and especially now, so July's about to turn 7, Towns will be turning 10, and or 9, and they want to go more, and there's just a matter of whether the venues are like appropriate for kids.
Yeah, right.
And we play a lot of club. I mean, we're at a club level, and we do play good, like, bigger events and stuff, but most of the time it's club level, and we're doing ticketed shows, and it's like a rigorous kind of, like, I think so we've been off. We have a little break right now, but so like last week we went to Portland, Seattle, and Post Falls, Idaho, and we leave Wednesday night at 8:00, get to Portland Thursday around 2 the next day, and just kind of drive through the night. So like drives like that, they just stay home. But if it's somewhere like Montana or something, Blaine and the boys will go with me. We'll add a day or two and just make a little vacation out of it or something.
Cool. Very cool.
And that's cool.
Who are your biggest musical influences growing up?
When I was I guess when I was in high school, I got into Chris Ledoux.
Okay.
And for anyone not familiar, he wrote a lot of rodeo songs, and he was a bareback rider. And that's the whole reason I really got into riding bareback horses, was his music, and it was very impactful on me. And a lot of the stuff I did early on was kind of like parallel, I guess. But I never really saw it to like replicate any of replicate it. It was just kind of happened that way. And then the longer I kind of got into it, I got into more of like the alternative country stuff that was kind of not underground, but just a little more rock and roll.
Yeah.
It was definitely like kind of, it doesn't really fit in a box as well. And the longer I've done it, I just as our sound has kind of developed into what it is now, and like I've never really thought like trying to be anybody, and we, in our live show, there's a full range of music that doesn't really stick in one box. It's kind of just whatever the song kind of requires. So so now I guess we're kind of like, if there was like a genre area, we would be, like an alternative country, or it's kind of just rock and roll with like Western themes, really. But I like that. I like not, I don't I'm not like trying to like shake the system up. I'm just being me, I guess.
Yeah, being authentic and doing the music that comes from your soul, and that's what people connect with, I think,
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and I think all of it kind of like stems from, like, I don't write a ton of songs. I don't write as frequently as I used to. Like when I was younger, I was like, living it and doing. I've always just kind of wrote stuff I was doing or people around me, and it doesn't happen all the time for me now, but I've just always tried to write for myself, so that's kind of been the difference, and that's why I think that means a lot when you're making music for yourself and not really having you're not trying to, like, cater to an audience,
Right.
that's how you kinda stay true, I guess.
Yeah. 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 And the reason I ask about your musical influences, we've had a couple of other sort of country music musicians on here before,
Mhm.
and the thing that jumped out at me was they were both or all of them were listened to punk growing
Oh,
up,
yeah.
which just kind of blew me away. I was just kind of interested, and you coming out of an urban environment like Baltimore, I was just kind of interested.
Yeah, I feel like I've said this before in other interviews, but I feel like I found all my teenage angst as an adult. Like, I never I mean, I had such a fortunate childhood and, like, I'm not like, I have a great life, but I do appreciate the, the emotion in rock and roll and punk music, and, like, I'm not a super heavy into any of it really, but there's parts of it that I really, really appreciate, and and especially for a live show standpoint, like, that's where, like, I think the punk stuff and, rock and roll, influence is really beneficial because, like, there's just an intensity in those kinds of shows that you're not finding on a lot of country shows,
Right.
and so I've tried to have that intensity in ours,
Well, I will say that I really enjoyed seeing you play in Alva because I was thinking back. I'm like, gosh, I mean, the last time I really can recall watching you play would have been around 2009 and 10 probably,
Yeah,
and
that's just
so that long ago is like,
house party acoustic kinda
yeah,
thing.
and you didn't have a band. It was just
No,
like you
and I
and
didn't know what I was doing either.
yeah.
I still don't really
Well,
know what I'm doing, but I'm trying a lot
he's
harder.
Just fake it till you make it. Heck, I mean, I enjoy music. I mean, whenever I when I went to college, and I was doing the mass comm degree, I wanted to be a radio DJ. I wanted to
Yeah,
be
remember.
with bands and connecting and sharing because music is such a huge thing for me. I can't play it, but I connect with it. It gets me through the day some days, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's what I did. I moved over here and I did and I was a DJ on the radio for, 7 years. Went to Rocklahoma and interviewed, people just like
Cool.
you, but rock and roll, I
Way
guess,
more
or
famous, yeah.
yeah, well, no, some of them were actually, some of them were just like you, getting in on some of those, they had 3 different stages, and it was,
Oh,
like, the
yeah.
main one, and then there was, like, the Bud Light, which was kind of a little bit lower, and then there was the other one, and, man, there was some of them put on better shows than the, famous people that had been
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it, because they still loved it. It was I don't know,
Yeah.
it
It's
was
not a
fun.
yeah, it's not a chore. Like, I mean, I haven't reached, like, that
You haven't reached that part.
yeah, well, it's weird when, like, and I'm sure you've experienced this, but when you start working closer to this and the curtain kinda gets pulled back,
Mhm.
you see, like, I've been disappointed by some like, now I'll see some shows and I feel like I'll see maybe before everything seemed like it was like, "Oh, that was killer show," and now, like, I watch things with a different kinda scrutiny, I guess, and
Right.
I can kinda tell if, well, we're coming up on the 80-minute mark. They're about to throw in the towel,
Mhm.
or maybe the band doesn't really have it all together. You start to see those things, and and it's made it really important to me to like put so much effort into the live show. The longer I've been doing this, and because it's really like the one thing that we can control as bands, is to create those relationships with fans and listeners, and it to be real connections, not like with streaming and everything, and social media. Like there's a very short attention span, and I've tried not to, like, I'm not like a TikTok guy. I try to, like, social media I use to promote shows and like stay connected with people, but I don't use it as my, like, our show and the songs are are my market. That's what I put all my effort into. And yeah, it's not the shiniest, like, crayon in the box, I guess, because, like, I'm not constantly grabbing for attention, but I also feel good about it. And the relationships we have with fans and listeners on the road, and, like, I feel like they know that I give it everything when we put, and my band gives it everything when we play shows, and they know that we're not wasting their time and we're not taking advantage of it. Because, like, who knows, like, social media can change and streaming can change, and it's like, 5 years from now, like, if you put all your eggs in one of those baskets, like, what do you have left if you're not developing, like, the real live experience with those, and the real human connections, I guess. What's left?
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I did see, I mean, obviously when you guys got done playing, you kind of came and actually were walking around and talking to the audience, and me and Janelle, obviously you've known us from a long time ago, but I saw you being authentic with people that you didn't even know, like that one little girl that's like, "Hey, will you take a picture of us?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah." I'm like, "This is great for me." Like, I it warmed my heart, because as a creative person who, I guess I didn't really go all in to pursue my personal, like, creative passion. I worked for somebody. I'm the director of the museum. I'm doing things that are creative, yeah. But seeing somebody that I knew could be that, doing those things and living, that life for yourself and your family is awesome. It's
Thank
great
you.
to see that you can make a living playing your music, that
Yeah.
just being you, and I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's um it's wild, like, the way people measure success and in art, whether it's like money or celebrity or whatever. Like, it's not even at, like, I always try to tell, like, when people ask me, like, what's your goal? Like, I feel like I'm very not I feel like I don't have, like, these, like, grandiose goals, because, like, kind of doing it right now, and this isn't like sold out rooms and sold out theaters and arenas, and I mean, it's club level, having a couple hundred people in a club, like, like, on this on the socials and stuff like that. That doesn't look that flashy, but it's like, we're making a living
Yeah. Well,
doing
that's
something very fun,
yeah.
and we're in charge of it. It's not
Yeah.
like someone else is like calling the shots. Like, it's us, so that's really cool to see.
That is cool, and to me, that's success. I mean, I don't look at it like, "Oh, you're making a bunch of money or everybody knows who you are," but if you're making it and you're making a living and you're providing for your family and enjoying life, like, to me, that's success,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm,
How many
like,
how many shows do you think you guys do a year?
uh, not a ton, probably 90 or
Okay.
100, somewhere around there. It's not like a crazy schedule. And like I said, it's, we're not playing Sunday through Wednesday, really, very often. I mean, sometimes you stay out, but for the most part, it's like your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is is where you're accessible it's not like a major pain in the ass for someone to come to a show.
Right.
And unless you're like big dog, they can pull Tuesday and know it's going to sell out. It's like,
yeah,
not really worth our guys' time to like try to fight that. And so we don't play like a ton of shows a year, but it feels like a perfect mixture of being busy and being out there, and we cover so much ground too. So except for the Northeast, we kind of cover most of the country, even in those short little treks,
Right. Well, so I'm curious. So are you the person that books, or you have? I mean, what is the band made up of exactly? Because I noticed there's guys selling merch, and there was a guy, videoing.
So the guy selling merch, Dan, he's been with me the longest out of everyone in the band.
Awesome.
He's my tour manager.
Okay, so he's okay.
Yeah, and so like Dan handles so pretty much our operation is I kind of manage the band. Dan helps me doing like clerical stuff and like phone calls and stuff. And then we also have a booking agent, Ted, over in Minnesota, who has just a small, smaller like boutique booking agency with several. Like I think Ted has like 6 to 8 bands on his roster, but it's just him.
Cool.
And so we're very like ground level from like booking up until like day of show. And so Ted and Dan, they kind of scheme all week long and bounce stuff back and forth. And then we do like a conference call once a week and just kind of see what shows that came in and what we're gonna take. And I like it. It's I had management for 2 years, and it was like probably the most stressful. Because I've always been in control of this thing for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was something that was gonna, I made it very clear, like when I did the management thing, or took on management, that like I didn't want someone to like just take work off me. Like I don't need someone to do busy work. I need opportunities that maybe I can't get myself.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. So we went back to me just running the band, running management, and it really isn't that different. Like I'm still do all the same stuff, and Dan helps me do a lot of things, and so between the three of us, with Ted booking, I feel like we're very in touch, like with the venues and like the events that book us. I don't have Ted like Ted's not shaking people down for money. Like we're very realistic. It's really important, especially now. Like music industry right now is not doing very well, and there's a lot of years where like there's a lot of inflated pricing and kind of like monopolies when it came to booking agencies, and there still is monopolies. But I just always thought it was really important that like if we're quoting prices or working with a venue, like we want them to be successful too. We're not just out to grab cash, and we want like sustainable relationships. So I'm very thankful that the folks that I have that work with me are like in agreement. We're not out to make the quick buck.
Yeah.
Like we're out for the long haul, and yeah, it just works so much better, and I feel I sleep really good at night,
I bet.
Like we're not rich, but I feel like it's sustainable, and we're doing right by those people and all the venues, like I put in a lot of effort to make sure the shows are successful. And like Ted, our booking agent, is down with us to like. There's plenty of times when You know, we're not really, so band booking deals are always so weird because sometimes, like, there's like, door deals where it's, like, a percentage of the ticket or it's a percentage versus a guarantee, and for the most part, like, I really don't chase, like, those guarantees for, like, door deals because, like, I wanna blow that set number out of the water and I try to get, like, our expenses down in a deal and make sure that,
Mm.
that everyone like, we are equally in it on a show trying to make it successful, and we will do all the advertising and everything to make it good, and, so no slouches in our thing. We try to get after it and really, do right by the folks we work for, and
That's
the fans.
great. And I'm sure lots of people appreciate that and want you back. I mean, I've been I've been on the side in a different sense, maybe not music, but where I booked a um venue
Mhm.
for weddings and sometimes it was for people to put on shows or whatever. And I'll tell you, there were people where I will never do business with them again. Like, I don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
care if they wanna pay me $2,000 for this room and we only charge 800, like, never
Yeah,
again because of just things like where, they didn't meet me in the middle or they left it worse than they got it and just didn't care.
sure.
They were just taking and weren't, trying
There's a
to
lot of takers out there.
there are,
There
man.
really are, and,
Just, like, stop that. That is not good business.
and as
Andy
much as it's a
Warhol Go ahead.
bummer, sorry, I was just gonna say, like, like, it's not gonna last forever for
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
those folks that
Yeah,
do.
eventually it'll catch up.
Sorry, I didn't
yeah.
mean to cut you off. Okay.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say there's something that popped in my head that Andy Warhol always said, and he said, um, "Good business is art."
Oh, yeah.
You know? Good
That's
business
cool.
is art, you know what I mean? And that always hit me because 'cause I'm like, "That's so true." Like, I've always viewed, anything in life to have that art aspect in it, and to hear, somebody put it in that kinda context is something
No,
that's always kinda stuck with me. Like,
it
good business is art, you know? There's
Yeah.
an art to good business. I mean, it's a whole thing. So it's like it sounds like you've kind of got that figured out, and it's nice to hear that, um you you've kinda stayed humble a little bit. I feel like sometimes people get lost in all of that, and I don't see
yeah,
that happening for you. You seem to be very grounded in it. You're like
yeah. I think so, and I think, like, I've noticed, like, I'll see stuff like, it used to really bother me, when I'd see, like, bands not do hit the merch table and go visit with people, and the longer I do this, like, physically, I I understand it more, like
Mhm,
having to like, I've been having to kinda, like, so I used to just be accessible, and still a lot of times I am, or I try to be accessible, like, before the show, when the opener's playing, and then after the show, and, and sometimes it gets to a point where physically, like, I can't do it because
mhm,
it starts, like, I play a 2-hour show most nights,
mhm,
and it's very, pretty intense show and, pretty, like, taxing
mhm.
vocally, and I've gotten to a point where, like, I've kinda had to, like, hide out before the shows now because it starts to become, like, a detriment to my
Mm.
voice,
Yeah.
and I still feel bad about it because I feel like, I don't wanna be like one of those stuck-up people that, like, comes from the green room to the stage, back to the green room.
Yeah, but it's self-preservation too. Those
Yeah.
stuck-up people probably are fine. They're just back there, snorting their line, like, not worried about you know what I mean? Like, I I can see the big picture, but I get what you're saying though, because that you have to be able to, have a little bit of self-preservation in that and not give everything because you can give too much of yourself. I've
Yeah.
been there, so
Well, and sometimes, not every conversation is a 2 or 3 minute thing. Sometimes someone wants to really hunker down.
Oh yeah.
That's when it gets hard. And
yeah.
But
because you don't want to be that asshole. Like, okay, shut the I'm done with this conversation now.
Well, you know, and but I still find it very important to at least get out and visit with people. And it's not like it's like some huge honor to shake my hand, but like it's more of me saying thank you, you know, because it's at that like we were talking about with the live shows, it's so important that people know that they're like they're not just like a cog in it, like that like they're part of the show, and that they realize like how much it means to me and how much it means to my band, that it blows my mind to be able to go across the country and have people turn up. Like still, I mean, 6 years in, it's wild to like we were in Seattle a week or two ago, and my friend Callan Smith is probably my favorite songwriter. He's with us and opening the shows, and like I was watching Callan play, you know, like I took video, and like here's Callan he lives in Gillette. He's a rancher, great songwriter. And I'm watching these people sing his songs back to him, and I like told him after the show, I was like, "Does it strike you the way it strikes me?" Like it kind of like blows my mind, like that here we are, like we're not like some big, you know, touring machine like Callan and I. We're pretty similar, pretty grassroots stuff. We'll, like watch a whole room full of people singing your songs back to you, like in Seattle, you know, 16, 17 hours away from home.
Right.
You know, it's awesome. It's
sure.
It never gets lost on me. I think it's pretty wild.
So are you, we were kind of talking before we actually started this, but you mentioned, particularly in the case of videos, they're kind of a DIY sort of thing. Do you do your own recording?
Yeah. So, my drummer, Tom, or our drummer, he has a studio here in Rapid, and that's where we record all of our music. So we make everything in house. And you know, some bands they go to big studios or bring producers or studio musicians in, and everything kind of works for. It's kind of however you want to run stuff, but like with my band, like I write the songs and we play the songs and we record them. So everyone's kind of getting their own slice of it, and then, you know, as far as like promotion and stuff, like I'll either have I don't do a lot of videos, and I don't do a lot of it unless it's like for an album coming out or something like that. I try to give it my best effort that I can still live with myself with. You know, because like the shameless promotion gets pretty old, and it starts to feel like I'm not trying not to ever be like I'm an artist, you know, but it takes away from the feeling, and like it kind of robs a little bit of the joy in the promotion phase of stuff.
Yeah.
Because like you know, a lot of people, you know, and I feel this, but when it's like, well, I'm not a content creator, like I'm not that's not my job. And so I don't really do a lot of that stuff, but I also am well aware that if I'm not going to do something, then that's me like not giving it my all to like like it's a big part of like promotion and stuff, and so I try to do the least cringy stuff that I can,
the least cringy. I like that.
Yeah, that I can live with, and it still reflects me and my band when it comes to promotion, and so yeah, it gets sneaky because like there's things that you have to do that feel kind of lame.
Yeah.
You know, but it is a part of it, and it is necessary. Like, it's just like merch. Like, I don't know if you can see. This is
I saw the boxes.
my office here.
Yeah.
But like we do all of our own merch. And like Dan makes all the hats, and there's times where like you start to feel like a salesman, because you're selling merch, and but also on the other hand, like I think of it as like me doing that enables my band to make more money, so they can live a better life, and this thing's sustainable, and it's just part of the deal, you know.
It is, and people want merch. I mean, they really do. They don't want to spend a whole arm and a leg, man. I've gone to some where I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now? You want $60 for that sweatshirt? You gotta be something else." But like, I mean, I bought 2 koozies, I bought a sticker, and we bought a hat from you. And also, that's a way for you to have walking promotions. People see that hat, and then they go look you up on Instagram and catch on to your music and love it, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing with like those hats, like, we sell so many, and I've kept that in mind from the beginning. It is like, you know, with the ball caps, it's like that's there's lots of guys out there that'll wear the same ball cap for every day until it falls apart.
For years till it's falling apart,
That's promotion all the time, and advertising, and also on the other hand, like with merch prices, like we kept all of our stuff at like $20 a piece, you know, for a shirt and a hat for the longest time, until it started like till like the, you know, product costs started like kind of kicking into it. But we've tried to like continually keep stuff as cheap as possible. Like, we just started doing like hoodies and stuff, and it's like, well, this is definitely a $50 hoodie, but we can sell it for 40 and still make some money, so we sell it for 40. You know, and I've tried to just, as important as merch and stuff is, try to like be respectful of our listeners and appreciate, like, hey, it's awesome someone wants to wear your stuff and promote you. Don't like bend them over for the price, you know.
Well, and I can tell if it's a good hoodie. Like the one I'm talking about was not. I'm like, I know this hoodie did not cost you that much. You know what I mean? This thing is like rags, dude.
Well, and some of them, like, you know, like also some bands, like, they don't put the effort into like even like, first off, make something that's gonna last. Like, buy quality materials. Like, make sure the t-shirts aren't like bullshit. And like spend money on, like, I either pay artists that I know that I trust, or try to design the best I can. Merch that's like at least looks cool. I'm not just like, it's not like I'm just like slapping like some like cheap rehash thing, you know, and trying to peddle it. Like, I try to make it to where it's actually somewhat of value, and something someone would be proud to wear.
That reminds me of this artist, Nick Shoulders. I don't know if you've ever heard of him or not. But he is also an artist outside of his music, and he draws his own album covers, but then he turns it, you know, into his shirts and merch and stickers, and I thought that's cool. I'm like, if you have that ability to do that, that's amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't draw very well, but
well, me neither. I'm abstract.
But I get on the Procreate on the iPad and start, you know, I think my stuff's more collages more than anything sometimes, but like, I try to do, and if I can't, I'll pay someone to do it. It's just,
or you reach out to an artist that can.
It just gets hard sometimes finding, you know, getting it done. Like, sometimes I end up like with commission stuff, like, cool, I'll wait 6 months and then get it, and like,
it's not what
it doesn't always hold up, but like, that's the gamble.
That's
it's kind of just part of it. But we've been pretty lucky. So we keep a lot of stuff in house, and like, like Dan, my tour manager, he made a business out of. So like I used to make these like hats like this one. I used to make my own merch, order the embroidered patches and iron them on by hand.
Mhm.
And then I got a heat press. And then when Dan joined, he was making all my hats for me. I was like, you should start doing this for other bands as a side project, side gig. Now he builds builds hats for a bunch of other bands and then builds all of ours. So it's like, I think that's just an important thing, like with the business and any business really is like I have enough. Like I'm not like it's always great to like make a little more money or do this and that, but like my family's taken care of. Like you start using growth as an opportunity to make things or try to like improve other people's situations and make it to where that your friends have more like and people that you care about are doing better. Not just that's kind of like real growth to me is is like my bank account hasn't grown over the years, but like I can definitely see the impact of the people around me and like I can tell like we're all doing pretty good because the band is doing well. So
That's awesome.
Well, I got to tell you, particularly before we came in here to do this, I was kind of exploring some of your music and playing some of the videos. And that video you have for Idaho Hippie is genius. and it was very simple concept.
Oh yeah.
You've got a blue chair, I think, sitting out in the middle of a field, and you walk out, you're playing the guitar, you sit down, you sing the song, then you get up and you walk off, stage right. And in the meantime, there are horses behind you just grazing away. I thought that was the coolest thing I've seen in a long, long time.
That's like those are my kids' horses out back, and it was just one of those. You try to find like so that was right when we were putting, I think Idaho Hippies like trying to promote singles and try to have like some social media content that to pair with the songs like to kind of get people just to get people to get familiar with the music. And I feel like I don't mind when it comes to like music videos or whatever. I don't mind never mind playing music. But you're not gonna see me acting. like like
It's not gonna be a TV show.
yeah, like there's not gonna be any storylines going on. And I know that's cool for some people.
It's just not you.
Like I would much rather have like live show footage and and like that little thing out back, like that was just the most the least cringy thing that I could think of at the time. I was like, I'll just set this chair out here in the back in the back 40 and just let it and it worked. Yeah. Like I like stuff like that. It's because it is about the song, but it does have something like it does set a nice scene without like it being much more than the song, So
Sure.
So thank you. Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Oh, great. Do you have anything new coming up? Any new releases or?
No, right now I'm just working on stuff. We put out a Live at Kane's album here a few months ago.
February.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah. Gets away from me. But so we put out a full album in the fall in October, and then we opened for Josh Malloy over at Kane's, and actually our album release night we played that show. And Kane's is one of those historic venues where like it was so cool. It was probably out of all the venues I've done so far, like that one meant a lot. And it's kind of a bummer because I was kind of my voice was kind of beat up that night to play the show, but our band was very I felt like the energy carried it, so we cut the live album just to, because I feel like those things are important. Like they're not. We're so proud of our live show to have a few like points as we continue playing for like fans to remember like certain nights and stuff like that. And that one was important because it was Canes and so yeah, we did that live album and just to I did a live album before at this Buck's Bar up in Nebraska probably a year or two ago, and it was it was our full show at the time, so it was like a 2 hour and 20-minute live album. And this Canes deal was, we had I think we had 45 or an hour set, so it was nice to just give a more focused, like, it's a lot to ask someone to listen to a 2.5 hour live album, and they will, but like that's a commitment. It was nice to have something that wasn't just like, hey, like, here's at this time in 2025, this was our chunk of songs that we really wanted people to hear, and it's more abbreviated and more direct and more impactful. The live at Bucks thing is super fun for the people that were there, or people that really want the long experience, but that's a lot less focused and not as much impactful, I think, when you just lay out a 45 or an hour set. But,
well, I know you kind of you mentioned that you kind of shy away from social media, but why don't you run over, I know you have a website.
Oh yeah. Yep. And, so I got kennyfeidler.com, and that has that holds like our merch store and tour dates, and then Kenny Feidler on Instagram. Like, I'd say the only thing I'm not real, like, I don't really mess around a whole lot with TikTok and Twitter, but Twitter is just so negative. Like, I browse on there, but I'm barely, like, I'll engage it. If anyone ever like hits me up, I'll engage, but like, I just really try to avoid a lot of negativity, and I don't really like that constant. It kind of gives me anxiety, just like some of the
thinking about it.
Yeah, like,
what are they gonna say? What are they gonna tweet about?
Yeah, and even like TikTok and stuff, like, it's so everything's so like everything's built around the hope for becoming a viral experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like everything you lose any like kind of soul in anything. So so I use Instagram the most, and then Facebook is not really big on Facebook either, but it shares with Instagram, so all the same stuff
it's there.
pumps there. Yeah, and it won't let, like, my band. When I started, I really didn't want to just have my band be called just my name, because it felt weird, because it's not just it's a band of people playing, and so it was Kenny Feidler and the Cowboy Killers, and then the longer I've done this, I'm like, you know what? It's just easier. Just like, they're probably gonna mess my name up anyway, so just have my name for billing purposes. As like, all the music's released just under my name anyway, but now I can't change it on Facebook, so it's will forever be Kenny Feidler and the Cowboy Killers, I guess. But yeah, and I am pretty active on Instagram. Like, it's pretty much just show music stuff, or it's me and my boys
fishing. That's awesome. Fishing, love that.
Yeah, so I just try to keep it just real, without having to. I'm not out to share every part of my life.
Sure, yeah. People that do that creep me out. I'm like, I know what you're doing at every moment of your life, and why do you want that?
Yeah, well, and it's like
a little bit here and there's nice.
I feel like it's really weird. It's nice to give like listeners and stuff like insight into who you are.
Yeah.
But also at a certain point, I see some of these bands and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you're doing this for you now. Like this
right.
is not a endearing thing. It's more of a stroking your ego kind of thing. So you'll see me on there limited just for the sake of keeping it alive, I guess.
Yeah, you got to do a little bit. You got to give them a little bit of taste of what goes on outside of the music. I think people want that. They want to see that. They want to see what you're doing when you're not playing music. I get it.
Yeah,
be a little bit secretive about it, but anyway, Kenny, is there anything else you want to add? I feel like we've had such a great conversation.
No, this was great. No, thank you guys for having me on. And
we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
You can check our tour dates out, kennyfeidler.com. I'm kind of all over the country for a while.
Sure.
After I have this little break, I have like 2 weeks off. Get back and do it in the middle of May, and then so I'm gonna try to write some songs and just be home, and then after that we'll be on the road every week. From probably California to, I don't know how far east we'll get, but probably California to about Tennessee or so, Ohio.
Okay, all right.
Heck yeah.
Well, if you come back, around Oklahoma, I'll keep my eye out and try to make another show.
Well, sounds good. It was great to see you. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yep. Thanks again, Kenny. Have a great rest of your day.
We sure appreciate it.
Well, what a great interview, Mr. Really Robin. Love talking to Kenny, reminiscing on the old times and hearing his journey into becoming a full-time musician is amazing. Because I was on that front porch before he ever made it big. Just some college kids hanging out, being college kids. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to play a track from the 2026 album, Live at Cain's, Idaho Hippies, while you see some pictures flash up on the screen of 2008 Mikey-on-the-Mic with Kenny and several of the other boys that we hung around with at what we called the Ruffy House. Kenny was a staple for playing music on the front porch while we hung out and drank beers. So anyway, here you have it.
Here's the tune.
Left and doing since the family ranch got up and sold, and he can't take the chewing from a sweetheart since the love got running cold. He just hammers on the highway like lead's filling up his shoes. He knows some girls down at the bar and them boys loading at 2. I hope those old Idaho hippies keep hanging on. There ain't nobody else know the words to all my songs. They don't party like they used to, and their hair's always been long. I hope those old Idaho hippies keep hanging on. Keep hanging on. He might have made the big screen. He could have been a star. Rambled around the country, never got that far. And this scene, it ain't nothing like it was in '84, when Ghetto and the Motel Cowboys were still busting through the door. I hope those old Idaho hippies keep hanging. changing from a road case by the state. Seen some faces fading, felt the ending of an age. Ain't caught him much religion, but he's living and living right, watching over all God's children out there guided by the neon light. I hope those old Idaho hippies keep hanging on. There ain't nobody else knows the words to all my songs. They don't party like they used to, and their hair's always been long. I hope those old Idaho hippies keep hanging on, keep hanging on.
We hope you peeps conveniently listening at home or in your car enjoyed that. If you have any questions for either Mikey or myself about today's episode or any other darn thing, you can email us at mr.robin@mrrobinshood.com or mikey@mrrobinshood.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast. As always, you can also reach out to Mikey or me via Podophone at 580-827-1113. Maybe you just want to get something off your chest, or you're feeling some butt pain because of something we said.
Or you were like, 2008 Mikey is way cooler. You want to tell me about it.
Yeah, well, there is that. Give us a call. Unless, of course, you're Theodore the turnip twaddler, in which case you'll want to contact Mikey.
Yeah, actually, I think we could be friends. Me and old Theodore. Did you just take the H out of Theodore?
That's a
real
Bulgarian name.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh, who would have known? I did not learn that while in Bulgaria. Turns out.
You probably didn't meet a lot of the locals.
Yeah, they were like,
flew in and they ran her out of town
pretty fast while I tripped over a wheelbarrow full of turnips.
Yep. You can leave a voicemail. Text us if you have questions, concerns, complaints, compliments, suggestions, whatever. Just don't be a dick about it, especially a Bulgarian dick about it.
Oh, wow. That's got a nice ring to it. Don't be a Bulgarian dick about it. I like it. I feel like that's the very Bulgarian thing to do to me right now.
In the meantime, tell all of your friends to listen to this podcast as though their lives depend upon it. As always, you can stream or download episodes of Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast wherever you usually find that sort of nonsense. We're on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, the Podbean app, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Listen Notes, and Podchaser. You can also stream them directly from our Podbean website,
as we encourage you to do,
at Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast.podbean.com
for free.
So we'll close now by reminding everyone, as we always do, to
stay hungry, stay foolish, and most importantly, stay weird. Bye.